Welcome to Elevator Pitch Basics with Internship on Demand. In this video, we're going to detail what an elevator pitch is, how you're going to use that to get a job, to sell your boss, or to move up in the professional world. Elevator pitches are incredibly important because they get the attention of whoever you're talking with. The goal of an elevator pitch is to continue the conversation. Don't worry about fitting so much information that you lose someone's attention, because at the end of the day, it's just opening the door and getting the conversation going. Let's jump in. In this session, we'll talk about what an elevator pitch is, when you might use it, how to make your own, and adapt it to a given scenario. Because the elevator pitch is so essential, it also means you can use it in a number of situations. That just means you need to be adaptable and flexible in how you deliver your elevator pitch. What is an elevator pitch? An elevator pitch is essentially based on the idea that if you had one opportunity in an elevator with your boss to pitch him on a new big idea, you were both going to the top floor and you entered in the first floor. What would you do? What would you say in that elevator to sell your boss on your new idea? And no, this isn't lose yourself. This isn't your one opportunity to capture everything you ever wanted. But the elevator pitch is essential. It is key, and it is important that you get it right. Your elevator pitch, boiled down to details, is typically only 30 to 60 seconds long, and it's your pitch. It's where you can share who you are, some key information, and it typically ends in an ask or a call to action. That's as basic as we can get in an elevator pitch. We'll talk about how every scenario, whether the career fair, a job pitch, or a presentation, how your elevator pitch needs to be adaptable to the given scenario. The goal of your elevator pitch is getting someone interested enough to keep the conversation going. You can think about it like a movie trailer. What happens in a movie trailer that gets you excited enough to actually go and watch that movie? When to use your elevator pitch. Delivering a big presentation to managers or directors. You want to give them the quick 30-second pitch on what you're going to be talking about for the next 30 minutes to make sure they stay engaged, they know where you're going, and they can orient themselves for the rest of the presentation. At the career fair, looking for a job, when you approach a hiring manager and you say, "Hi, my name is blank," that's the start of your elevator pitch. Your goal there is to make sure the hiring manager knows who you are, knows what you're looking for, and can determine whether or not it's worth their time to set up an interview or keep the conversation going. As you move through your professional career, you're going to often find yourselves at networking events or talking with friends, and they're going to tell you, "Tell me about yourself," or "Tell me what you do." This is where you can deliver a condensed version of what you do on a day-to-day basis, give a deeper understanding of who you are to keep the conversation going, and potentially open it up for connections. If you ever launch a startup or have to pitch your boss on a big new idea, you're going to constantly be asking and delivering an elevator pitch. You might not think about it, but being on a first date is very similar to delivering an elevator pitch. The elevator pitch is so crucial because we know the human brain craves meaning before details. What this means is that as humans, what we want is a story. What we want is something that piques our interest and we can keep learning more. The elevator pitch opens the door to learning more, to keeping the conversation going with whoever you're talking with. And it's important that you tell a concise story, one that keeps someone looking for more. When you consider that in most situations you're delivering an elevator pitch, you're not the only one delivering a pitch, you're not the only one vying for the attention or the say in the room, you need to make sure that that pitch sticks with someone outside of everybody else. Building a strong elevator pitch. Your elevator pitch is that 30 to 60 second pitch to share who you are, some key information, and typically ending in an ask or a call to action. Depending on the scenario, your elevator pitch will differ in a variety of ways. Looking at the career fair, a presentation to your department VP, or on a first date. With our basic information around who you are, the key information you want to share, and that ask or call to action, how might our elevator pitch differ from our VP to our first date to our career fair? At the career fair, what you want to include is your year in school, your major, the kind of role you're looking for. That's our relevant information. The ask for your career fair pitch might be to share your resume, might be to find some time to set up an interview. When pitching your department VP, odds are they probably know who you are. The who you are isn't as critical, but making sure they know your name, your role, and what you do for the organization. The relevant information you want to pitch is your big idea, the research you conducted, the business impact, and the why it's critical your VP consider this decision. And then your ask or your call to action might be the next steps you'd like him to follow. On a first date, who are you might be a little bit different. In fact, you might want to do something that's a little bit more engaging and a little bit more attractive to the person on the other side of the table. You want to include where you're from, maybe what you do for work, what you do outside of work, maybe your astrology sign. This one, unlike the others, won't have a clear and concise ask at the end of it. At the end of that first date, you just hope there's a second date, and that's your ask. Let's practice that elevator pitch. Let's pretend I'm a student at the University of Wisconsin-Madison studying engineering. I'm going to the career fair. I'm looking for a summer internship. This might be what my pitch looks like. As I approach a hiring manager at a company, hi, I'm Keegan. I'm a junior here at UW-Madison. I'm pursuing my bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering and a minor in art. I'm looking for a summer internship this summer, and I'm really interested in learning more about your company and sharing why I think I might be a good candidate for the role. Would you mind if I walk you through my resume? We start with the personal introduction. Hi, I'm Keegan. That's the basic stuff. Moving into my academic year and where I go to school to make sure that that information sits with our hiring manager. Mentioning my major and my minor or any other relevant coursework lets the hiring managers know where I'm interested or where I might fit within their organization. My ask in this case is a summer internship, planting the seed that that's what I'm looking for. And finally, my call to action. This is where you look to keep the conversation going. For me in this scenario, it's can I walk you through my resume? This is where you can talk the hiring manager through why you'd be a good fit. This opens the door for them to ask you questions, for you to open the door and ask questions about their organization as well. Your elevator pitch at the career fair. In this section, we're going to talk how to bring your elevator pitch to the career fair. We'll talk about why the career fair is so important and so critical. We'll talk about adjusting your elevator pitch to each employer and then offer some tips at that career fair to use the elevator pitch well. Your elevator pitch is incredibly important at the career fair because career fairs are extremely busy. Hiring managers will have a ton of students coming up to their table, asking them questions, trying to find the same internships you are. Some of these students will have great pitches, some will fumble through them. You need to make sure your pitch can be remembered and stand out when they think about who they invite for an interview. Time waiting in line, your class schedule, and the time you spend talking with employers after your elevator pitch will all cut into your time to meet with employers. You want to make sure you can use the time at the career fair wisely. If your elevator pitch doesn't fit the organization, they're looking for a different major, they don't have a summer internship, then you can move on and target your elevator pitch and your time elsewhere. Introductions and decisions move extremely quickly at the career fair. Hiring managers will typically make decisions within a few minutes of whether they want to invite you back for an interview. This means you need to do what you can to be remembered. Show off your resume, show off your personality, and make that hiring manager want to invite you back for an interview. Some notes to think about ahead of the career fair. Make sure you do your research. Check Handshake, LinkedIn, or your career services office to learn more about the employers attending. This gives you an opportunity to know, number one, who you want to talk with so you can use your time wisely. Know your goals before going into the career fair. Whether you're looking for an internship, a co-op, or a full-time job, you can identify who to talk with and who has job postings for that. If you can see any key responsibilities or skills that hiring managers or employers are looking for, you can tailor your resume as well as your elevator pitch to really nail it. How to make your elevator pitch stand out from the crowd. Be clear and concise in the delivery of your elevator pitch. 30 to 60 seconds is not a lot of time. Don't worry about cramming a lot of information into that elevator pitch. Maintain professionalism as best you can. Oftentimes, this includes a handshake, eye contact, and confidence in your delivery. Don't be afraid to show your personality. A joke or a question in that elevator pitch is a great way to make sure someone's engaged and listening as you deliver your elevator pitch. At the career fair, physical props like your resume or your portfolio can really help you stand out. Your resume is an incredibly valuable tool to leverage at the career fair. When you hand someone your resume, you're essentially giving them a script that you'll be working off of. You can point out specific things on your resume that you want to draw their attention to. After you've delivered your elevator pitch and the hiring manager has your resume, you can begin calling out specific areas and specific lines on your resume that you want to draw their attention to. This can be your education, specific bullet points, past experiences, or student orgs that you've been a part of. This is an opportunity to tailor the initial conversation with that hiring manager. If you're looking for someone that aligns with your second experience as opposed to your first experience, you want to call attention to that spot on your resume. This is also when hiring managers will make notes and call out specific things on your resume that they'll pass off to those who are scheduling interviews. Let's practice delivering our pitch at the career fair. For me, that might be something like this. Hi, I'm Keegan. I'm a junior here at UW-Madison. I'm pursuing my bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering with a minor in art. I'm looking for a summer internship. I'm really interested in learning more about your company, and I can walk you through my resume if you'd like. This is our foundational elevator pitch. I introduce myself, my major, where I go to school, what I'm interested in, and then finally my call to action to continue the conversation with the hiring manager. Once you have that base elevator pitch ready, it's time to tailor that pitch to different companies. This is how you really give yourself a leg up when you go to different organizations at the career fair. The good news is most of this information is typically available on the company's website, their job posting, or one of their Handshake or LinkedIn pages. This is the kind of research you should be doing ahead of the career fair to know how you want to tailor your elevator pitch. Thinking about this as an engineer, here's how I might adapt that. We have my base elevator pitch. If I'm talking to a company like Microsoft that has a heavy focus on software, I might highlight software or coding experience in my elevator pitch or in my resume walkthrough. Knowing what the company is looking for in their job postings and how you can tailor your experiences and how you talk about them to match that company will make sure you stick out and help you get that interview following the career fair. Some tips following your elevator pitch, specifically at the career fair. The point of your elevator pitch is to keep the conversation going. Be prepared to share your resume and talk through it. This is how you can get questions answered and bring up ideas and topics that you want to share with that hiring manager. Have a few questions prepared to ask the employer representative. Ask what the next steps would be following the career fair. If there's an opportunity to interview or dive directly into carry-on conversations. We always recommend finding a practice company to warm up your elevator pitch. This should be a company without a crazy long line, one that you're not 100% interested in working at. This is where you can practice your personality, your joke, or just the mechanics of delivering that elevator pitch. Your elevator pitch across the larger business sphere. Delivering this pitch may not start easy. For many of you, it will be a struggle to get comfortable talking about yourself, your experiences, and delivering that call to action. But believe me, it will get better over time. Practice that elevator pitch in different scenarios. Go to more networking events. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Be intentional about what you say and how you say it. Using a different elevator pitch time after time after time won't allow you to get comfortable saying it. Using a similar elevator pitch and using it and batching it for maybe 10 conversations and then deciding to iterate and change that elevator pitch will help you form something confidently. Don't be afraid to write your elevator pitch out. Anywhere from 140 to 200 characters is usually a good target to get you started. This works well if you're giving a virtual presentation and can have notes up on your computer, or if you're okay having handwritten notes as you deliver an in-person presentation. Even writing that elevator pitch out and practicing it to yourself Tells you how you can cut out phrasing or cut out words to make a more clear and concise elevator pitch. Make sure you tailor that elevator pitch to each audience. Keep a base elevator pitch as much as you can. Introducing yourself, a little bit about yourself will always stay consistent, but know how your audience is going to react and see how they react and adjust as needed. If you're giving your elevator pitch, some advice that you might hear is just to relax. Trust me, that's not always the easiest to actually take into account. I've given hundreds, if not thousands, of elevator pitches, my time running Internship on Demand. And I'll tell you, I'm still nervous getting in front of people and delivering that elevator pitch, especially to a new audience. For me, taking a deep breath, running through the notes of my pitch, and just trying to be myself helps me figure out how to deliver that pitch. Some additional resources and links to help you build your elevator pitch. Harvard Business Review, as well as the Stanford Graduate School, have some awesome resources on how to craft and build that elevator pitch. Elevator pitches are going to be something you constantly iterate on, whether you're pitching your startup to investors, trying to find a new job, or trying to find a promotion at that job. You're going to want to tinker and toy around with things, and trust me, once you've worked on something for 3, maybe 6 months and you look back at it, you're going to want to change it. And that's okay, that's progress. The goal of your elevator pitch is keeping the conversation going. Having a strong, concise elevator pitch can guarantee that you can get in front of anybody, tell them who you are, and keep the conversation going.